Thank you.
Yeah, please have a seat.
Thank you.
Can I see your signatures?
Yes, of course.
So, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Okay, please tell about yourself first.
Alright, I studied at Sullivan University and I graduated in 2021. And then I also have a lot of experience about manager company because I have 1 year experience about manager company, and then yeah, it's a lot of trouble, and then I can solve the problem.
Okay, so please describe your management style.
Yeah, I trust my team. I start our every project by making sure that I give clear directions and outline of overall goals, but I make a real effort not to micromanage. I prefer to remain hands-off when it comes to individual tasks, and the same time I'm always available for help, guidance, and also assistance when the employees need me.
Okay, so how do you define your success?
I found a lot of value in setting goals, outlining the steps required to exceed these goals, and then completing the steps. This not only allows me to break down the big picture into easily actionable parts, but also gives me a good overall idea of what needs to be accomplished.
Okay, do you ever work with a team?
Yes.
So how do you manage your stress among your team members?
Yes, I manage by individual approaches, and then I also can be able to communication with many employer and the members, so that we can have good relationship between me and then also my members.
That's great. So how do you handle the conflict between the team members?
There are always two sides to every story, which is why it's so important to me to remain as neutral and open-minded as possible whether I hear of conflict between team or member. I was in a situation a few years ago, 1 year ago, where two members of my team were clearly unhappy with each other. But actually I have a good communication with one person to another person, so that we can conclude and we can solve the problem, and then we can have discuss for 2 people and then 3 people, that we can know what the problem.
So please tell me about a time you let an employee go.
Nobody likes firing people, but there are times and situations when I just has to happen. One summer I was working as a bad manager for some company, and then we had a lifeguard who was consistently late to the job.
Alright, so how do you motivate people?
Alright, motivation is not a one-size-fits-all solution. So I like to really get to know my team on an individual level. I feel like this gives me a good feel for what works for each person. A year ago, I was overseeing manager company and then employer. While our numbers were good, they weren't great, and a big part of that was a result of one of the members of the team dealing with a child going through cancer and chemo, and then so many problems that I see and I experienced it. But to make it motivation is quotes, so I just give the quote, the daily quote that can improve and that can increase their ability for the work.
Alright. Would you like give an example of tough decision you had to make?
When making professional decision, I like to keep in mind the good of the company before I consider personal feeling. A year ago, I was in a situation where I was responsibility for hiring a new team member. So when I have a new team, I must to keep our mind to go and then to working together so that we can also work as good as possible. Because I see that when we have good relationship, it can be good working.
So, what is your biggest management weakness?
There are times when I have to remember that although I am a manager company before, but I also have management to time because not all employees have good manage for time. So that it is very hard to me to manage time for every person. But I have experienced it and I have got the problem to make management time is very good.
Yeah. May I know how do you delegate tasks to your team?
I prepare to delegate tasks based on the aptitude of each team member. For the task at hand, prior to delegation, I like to sit down with my team and discuss the project, and then we break it down and determine exactly what needs to get done and who is the best person to get this task. I review each assignment personally because I want to know what the work for each person, and also I review each assignment, and then I want to know the knowledge level for each person.
Okay, that's so great. Thank you for coming, Nuki.
Yes.
It is so great to meet you. I will call you next week.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Have a nice day.